What's up? So, this one concept that I'm going to talk about, it will make you a lot more money. Will also help you better understand yourself, why you make certain decisions you do, and hopefully lead a better life. This will make you more persuasive. I'm a better person at sales, at marketing, persuasion, all this stuff. So, I remember reading this in one of Russell Brunson's book, and it completely changed the way I see things as far as making money, making sales, and getting leads for your business. So it's really important that you understand it because it changed my life and hopefully can change yours. So the big concept here is this is basically the reason why anyone makes any decision they ever do. And so if you understand this, you will know why your prospects either choose to buy your product or your program, or they choose not to buy it. It tends to be this one thing. Like, this is the number one driver of human action. It's crazy. And that one thing, what is it? That one thing, it's not because they like you or they dislike you. It's not that. It's not because you're similar to them or not similar to them. It's not that. All right. It's not even your testimonials or case studies you have. It is status. It is status. Now, what is status? Status is basically, let me show you this example. So every single action that you take, people consider, will their status raise or decrease in the eyes of the people around them that are important to them? All right, so let me show you an example. So a lot of these online guru people, they buy Lamborghinis and they buy Rolexes and special watches and stuff because they believe this will increase their status. They believe, hey, if I drive a Lamborghini around with this cool logo, take a picture of it on my Instagram and post it, people will think I'm cool. People will think I'm rich and wealthy and successful, and I'll get, more clients and more people will like me, and I'll be cool. All right, a lot of this is subconscious as well. They're not consciously thinking. Some people are, but most people aren't consciously thinking about this, but it's behind the occurrence. It's unconscious, what's happening back there. And so on the flip side of this, status is different for every person based on your circle of influence, based on whose opinions you value. And so for the gurus, that tends to be the path they take, buying a Lambo and stuff. But let's say for, a mom of, two kids, let's say for her, if she bought a Lambo and she drove that around, her friends might be other moms. They might think, oh, what, is she going through a midlife crisis? What's going on with Susie? Is she crazy? Blah, 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 all these things. They might have basically a decrease in status in her social circle because of this action, the same action as the guru, but a decrease in status. All right, well, it might be an increase in status is buying the newest minivan, or I don't know exactly what moms are raving about these days, but let's say it's a minivan. That it's the one that's super safe for driving, all the stuff right there. And so if she buys that, she drives that around, that might increase her status. So understand this. Your prospects, your leads that you're talking to, they're making their decisions based on status. If I buy this program, will this increase my status or decrease it? Obviously, a decrease in status is they're thinking of, if I buy this and it doesn't work, what are my friends and family going to think? They're going to think I just wasted all this money and, it didn't work. This is a common example. Let's say if you sell weight loss or fitness, something like this, and you're telling someone who's tried all these different diets and programs and things, and they bought all these things and nothing has worked for them. They lose weight, but they always gain it back. And so for them, in the back of their mind, they're thinking of this, it's unconscious again, but the status of, hey, what will people think if I fail again? My status will decrease among my social circle. All right, so they're running this calculation in their head. And so one of the great things you can do with your sales argument, your sales process, and your marketing process is you can basically drive the conversation, drive their mind towards how will people around them see them once they achieve the dream outcome you're promising. All right, once you lose the weight, think of how your wife will look at you. All right, think of how your kids will look at you in a different light. You'll have energy to play with your kids. Your kids will be able to say, oh, my dad is awesome. I get to, play with him, throw a ball with him, blah, blah, all these things. I'm just making a random example here, but it's status. It's all status, man. It's crazy. And so I wrote this tweet as well the other day. I think it's probably going to go up by the time this video is posted. and it's kind of my display of status. I'm now like kind of thinking of this like as I'm making this video now. Is the tweet was something like this. Something like, you know, I didn't buy a Lambo. Instead, I bought a new house and retired my fiance. Something like that. And so this tweet is obviously like it's going like paradoxical to the, you know, the gurus who buy the Lambos and stuff, because I think it's funny and hilarious. I think it's stupid. I think it's kind of childish. But I just bought this new house recently, and this is like my increase in status. All right. And I realize I'm aware of it. I'm aware of like the people that I like to surround myself with are more serious people, more family-oriented people, who value things like this, who value, like a lot of guys I speak to, one of their number one goals is to retire their wife and let her, you know, stay home with the kids and like stop working this job that she doesn't really like. And so that's like a huge increase in status among like my circle of influence. And so understand this for your life as well. What decisions do you make? Why do you make decisions? I think of the last big decision you made. What was the status implications behind it? How do the people around you think? All right. And it takes a lot to overcome status. It does. It takes a lot. I remember for me, so I went to FSU, Florida State University for college, and I was building my first business, the fitness coaching business, while I was there. And once it like really started to take off to the point where, hey, I can cover obviously all my bills, I can live, that was always my game plan. And so I decided to drop out. And this was actually really tough because the majority of my close circle of influence like was heavily against this. Like my family and like all my friends at college who were going to college and stuff. So everyone kind of thought I was crazy. This was an insane decision. And so this was a perceived decrease in status, but I went against it because I felt so strongly about it. It was so strong. It was like always my decision, but it was always my plan. I felt so strongly about this, but even though it was tough because of it, like that was, I remember writing like pros and cons list, and one of the cons was just like what like other people think, like literally, because I was analytically like thinking of every reason of why I wanted to do it versus like what's the bad things that will happen if I do it as well. And that was one of the things on the list, and that's kind of crazy to think about. Is if you really think about it, like that is the other people's opinions is a big reason you make any decision you do, which is it's stupid, but it's true. And understanding this, you can leverage this in your own life so you make better, like actually like more rational decisions. And also you can use this in your business and your marketing and your sales, so you can steer the conversation, steer the focus towards, hey, what are people around you going to think of you when you get the positive outcome? All right. Also, what are people going to think of you if you take no action, you do nothing? All right, you can really leverage this. And this is powerful because status is the number one driver decision, like we've been talking about. So, man, I hope you're starting to realize this and how freaking powerful this is. Because again, when I realized this, I was like, holy crap, like that's so true. That's so true. So that's the video for today. So concept overall, status, that's the number one driver of our decision. So implement this in your business. If you are someone who is an online coach, or you're launching your online business, or you're trying to scale it to 30, 50, 100K a month, it's exactly what we do now. So if you're interested in one-on-one help, me literally giving you all of my systems for lead generation, for closing sales, click the link below. I have a pretty killer offer for you, so click the link if you're interested. Click that link. If not, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a blessed day, and I'll speak to you soon.